This is Michael with Love and Freedom. Hey, I'm back with another travel tip for you. And this time I'm going to answer the question I always get. What travel agency do I use when I'm booking our flights overseas? And to answer that question in a nutshell, I don't use a travel agent. That's right. I don't use a travel agent. I use a couple different sites to check tickets, verification, or if you want to say that the best possible flight to fit our needs or to fit our lifestyle, if I should say. But today I'm going to show you, or I'm going to tell you what site I use and how do I determine the best possible flight and what is the best time or best day to take a flight. So we're going to start out with, what do I use to book our flights? I have two different places that I usually go, but I normally would go to googleflights.com. I know you guys have heard me say this before. I go to googleflights.com. Googleflight.com would give you the best possible flight itinerary that suits your lifestyle, if however you want to put it. So, and some people always say, well, what are the advantages of using Google Flights? And I'll tell you what are some of the advantages of using Google Flight is like things like price tracking and alerts. You know, you can track your flights and get notifications when the price drops on Google Flights. It has a flexible date search. It shows you the cheapest days to fly on the calendar. It views it. It tells you what's the cheapest days. It compares airline easily. It'll pull up prices from multiple airlines and it'll book in the booking sites of the airline. And that's another thing I normally do. If I see a flight that I'm interested in, I would normally go directly to that airline and deal with them in booking my flights. I basically use, I would say Google Flights to me is like a cheat sheet to get my flights. And once I find the best possible flight to fit our needs, then I'll go directly to that airline and see if they have any better flights or available deals for me when it comes to comparing airlines. And then, you know, it's also good for, you know, interacting maps. It lets you explore the destination worldwide. You can see the cost of the flights in real time, guys, on googleflights.com. It also has a filter option where you can choose based on the layovers. You can check to see the baggage fees. You can see the flight duration of the flight, how long it's going to take you to get from A to B, your layovers. It even have the Pacific Airlines in there to tell you which airline does the layover, what time the layover is, how long the layover is, all sorts of things when it comes to filtering out your options. Googleflights.com. You can't go wrong. Transparent, what you want to say, transparenting, prices. You want to be transparent with your prices. It shows the actual price. It shows you the final price as I was, including the taxes, the fees, and even shows you if there's going to be it also gives you variation if you go to the websites of that airline. Let me back up. If you go to the airline, it'll tell you the baggage fees, prices, and just in case you are concerned about how many baggage you can carry. But normally in googleflights.com, it'll have all that specified in there, how many bags are included. And this also helps you stay transparent so you don't have no hidden surprises on fees. It tells you how quick, the speed is one of the fastest flight searches out there. The speed of it is, you just can't beat anything when you're booking your flights other than using googleflights.com. I don't care what nobody say. I've been using googleflights.com for years now, and they haven't steered me wrong at all. Like I say, I usually go there and then I'll jump over, I see what flight I'm looking at, I'm interested in, then I'll go over to that airline directly and deal with the airline directly. Now, let's move on to the next question. One of the biggest questions, how do I find the best time when it comes to the airport being hectic? Me personally, I think, and I've been proven from time to time, the best day of the week to travel is midweek, like Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Usually they have the lowest fares, since fewer people will fly during that time, midweek. Saturdays can also sometimes be some of the cheapest. It could be cheaper than, let me put it like this, it could be cheaper than Fridays and Sundays. Because you got to think about people, Friday, they getting off work and they want to start their weekend. They be flying for weekend. Like, for an example, when I'm traveling to the Dominican Republic, there's a lot of people leave Florida or the southern part of the country to fly into the Dominican Republic for the weekend. And it can be very chaotic, very hectic, because there's a lot of people flying for the weekend on Friday. And then Sunday, you got to think everybody trying to come back into the country or fly back home on Sundays. So Fridays and Sundays are typically the most expensive days to travel because of the business traveling and the weekend trips. You got to take that into consideration. Now, the best advice that I can give you on traveling, besides the googleflight.com, is make sure, this is a pro tip for you guys. Lock this in, pro tip. If you can book your flights anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks in advance, use Google Flights, because they have a price graph and it lets you see when the fares dip or they rises. That's right. It lets you see all of that. So it's best to use googleflights.com whenever you're booking your flights, no matter where you're going, whether it's international or domestic, guys. So that is my cheat sheet for traveling and booking our flights. I do not use a travel agency. I am not own travel agency. I book all our flights, our lodging, and I take care of all our insurance needs and everything before we fly. So I'll have another video coming out soon about the lodging part, which if you haven't checked out the video I just dropped, I'll put it here, I'll put it over here, and you can go and check out where I was talking about making sure you're covered when you're dealing with your lodging, especially with Airbnb, guys. So I hope this helps someone out and planning their future traveling. The sky's the limit, guys, and we'll see you guys out there in the airspace. I appreciate you guys watching as always. Until the next one. Bye now. Peace. One love.
Margarita by my side, catching flights, yeah, we worldwide, from Yuma to Europe, Caribbean seas, loving freedom, moving.